Namaste, sir.
Namaste, sir.
Dharmraj ji, I know you since last December. We met first time then.
Yes, sir.
And I always wanted to talk to you on camera. So again, we are back here. So I just want to know what is it all about. So my first question is, who are you? Where are you from? आपका एक brief introduction in a very small way. I don't want to know your past and all, but whatever you can say. Where are you? How are you in the? What are you doing in Dharamshala?
Sir, it's very simple. I am a very simple man. I born in a village of Uttar Pradesh, and I had worked in a government department for a couple of years, and during my work, as everyone suffers, everyone feels, everyone goes through with pleasure and pain, just this question came in my mind: is this life? Is this life is only life, or there is another way of living which have no conflict in relations, which has no extremes of pleasure and pain? And then I began to inquire, what is the way of living which has nothing to do with conflicts and pleasure and pain? So when these questions came in my life, I distracted with the mainstream of the so-called society and living. With family, with society, with job, slowly this thing took place called self-knowing. And in self-knowing, all the imposed way of living and conditioned way of living, whatever they were, society, social relationship, and job, and whatever that was, it just began to wither. So it is a simple as a man raises question and wants to find out. It happened to me.
Okay.
That's it.
So in simple terms, sir, are you enlightened?
I do not know, sir. I am or I am not. But where is this question of life, which is so-called life, there is a light. I do not know I am enlightened or not. But in living, there is a light. There is a awakening.
Okay.
Sir.
I would like to take you to a past a little bit. When you said that when you lived a life, you being a government official and you had a family and you have been living a typical life everybody else lives, and in that time you thought, is this life? Is there much more to life than this? And you started inquiring. So the fundamental quest to ask itself, is this life? That started when you were in government office and in the middle of samsara, as we call it, or was it there since your childhood, and in earlier times also it was there somewhere and it started becoming bright and bright as the years goes by, or it just happened when you were in the middle of samsara?
I can't say it was not when there was my childhood, but it came to know me in my knowledge or in my acknowledged that is this life? Yeah, it was when I found me in conflict in relationships, and when my father died in a accident, and at that very time I was suffering with relations, all the conflicts and pain of relations. Then this question just grounded. So clearly I cannot say it was since my childhood, or it was just took place when I found myself in the midst of samsara, as you used the word samsara. Yeah.
So if I'm trying to explain, try to understand what you are trying to say, is that it was somewhere there, but it really became a strong impulse. This life? That question became a strong impulse when you become an adult, and as you said, it was in the middle of samsara, but that seed or beach was somewhere there inside, no? Is it like that, or?
It looks so.
Okay.
Because if it was not there, suppose it was not there, then everyone goes through such things. Everyone's close relatives dies.
Correct.
And everyone suffers in relationship. But no one, hardly anyone raises question, is this life? So I am not very much sure about it, that it was there already, or it took place when these incidents were happening.
Okay. Sir, what is Aranyak? You run a small, what you call a collective called Aranyak. I would rather call it a collective than anything else. What is Aranyak?
Sir, Aranyak is just a platform where those friends who have these questions, is this life only living life? Is this way of living is only living? For those friends, this is a platform to raise question, to go through the question, to find out what this living is only living, this is right living or not. The word Aranyak comes from very old scriptures of Veda. It means that which happens in the jungle,
the forest.
In the forest. That is the one meaning, and it's we can say that non-organized way of exploration. We do here non-organized way of exploration, non-conditioned way of exploration. As one is, one watches, one observes, and in that observation, if something drops, it drops, something takes place, it takes place. So we named this platform Aranyak. And one another meaning is Aranyak, the place where is not battle. Run means होता है कि battle. Run means battle, and aranya means होता है where no battle. We find in relationship there is battle taking place, either name of sambandha, either it's meeting or separating. It's a kind of battle. We used to battle inside, or we used to battle outside. So it's this kind of living may call ranya, and aranya means where there is no battle, where just what is, understanding of what is, and dropping of what is fake. But in so-called living where we used to find us, there is always battle to arrive somewhere, to achieve something, to be success in any relationship, to justify something, to condemn something. There is always battle where one is, he is not quite right there. He has to be somewhere else, whoever he is or she is. But in what we are doing at this platform called Aranyak, here there is no battle, because we are not going somewhere else. We are not trying to be free of the so-called this living, which produces sorrow in our life, conflicts. We are just understanding that living which is producing sorrow and conflict. In understanding of this, if something takes place, it takes place. But we have not battled with the sorrow. No, this supposed not to be here in life. This dvanda.
This duality cannot exist.
Yes.
Okay. So basically, sir, when you were talking all this while, there are a couple of things you dropped some words, which is questioning. Then you said whatever is not real will drop, whatever is there will be there. So all this for a layman like most of us are, and most of our intellectual or spiritual quest is through internet. So these sounds very abstract to us. What do you mean by questioning? And what do you mean by something drops and something remains? What are these abstract terms? Can you explain it a little more? What is this questioning is all about? And what happened? What remains? What drops?
Yes, sir. There is a way of questioning which we know, about which we are used to.
Correct.
Like this thing, we know this thing is named by stone, marble, granite, and this is some sling, and it is made from some jute or hemp, whatever it is. When we raise question, what is this? You, if I am not knowing, then you answer, this is stone. I get satisfied. So this kind of questioning just moves in the field of knowledge, right?
Correct.
I have no knowledge about it, but when I ask you, you give knowledge me, you tell me its name, and I get this name of this thing.
Correct.
Now my quench, pyas.
Yes, quench. Thirst.
Thirst. It's fulfilled.
Satisfied.
So it's over. It didn't affected my life. So my question and your answer didn't affected my life and didn't uncovered my relations with this thing, right? But what question we are raising, it's quite different. We call it impossible question. Possible question is which answer can you or anybody can give. I am not knowing, but somebody is knowing. He can give me answer. This is the possible question, because I am not knowing, but somebody is knowing. So there is a possibility of answer for that my question, right? But it is not affecting my living and my relation with this thing.
Correct.
Right? There is an impossible question. Impossible question comes from that field of the mind which is untouched. And that way of mind, that way of life, whatever we call, which doesn't deal with the knowledge, but the fact, but the actuality. It explores with the actuality. It just uncovers what is. So, I look at it and I say, what is looking of this which is not from the knowledge? I raised the question, what is looking of it which is not of the mind, which is not interrupted or corrupted by the mind? Or if I raise question with myself, what is observation of this which I am not doing? This is the impossible question. Because in every watching and observation, I was always there. When I raise question with myself or with others, I is always there. And I get answer, or I don't get answer. But this is the impossible question for this mind and for this life. Because this living, this life, this relationship never knew that there can be a observation or there can be a relation which has nothing to do with me. So this is the impossible question.
Understood, sir. So let me prod on it a little bit. This is whatever this is, if I am trying to look at it without the knowledge, it doesn't affect me because there is no personal relationship which I have with this. So when I look at my lover, my family, my father, brother, my bank balance, my life as it exists, there is an emotional investment or emotional connect or emotional debt. There is something which bonds me very strongly with all that factors which I live in real life. So the way we look at this object and ask what is it, that observation which I am not doing is, I find it little easier to ask because there is no emotional connect. I don't have to look at it. Yes. So when I look at, when we are strongly bonded and invested in this emotional plane of relationship with men, in the society we are invested. I go and buy something from the shopkeeper, and if he is rude to me in the morning, I am offended. It hurts me. It's hurt my feeling. My पूरा दिन खराब हो जाता है. सुबह ऑटो रिक्शा में घुस गया, उसके साथ लड़ाई हो गया. कुछ भी हो सकता है. रोड बस पे किसी के साथ लड़ाई हो गया, पूरा दिन बर्बाद हो गया, उसके साथ. But as human beings, we are emotionally invested in some space in the life we live, in workspace. So in that space, how am I to look at and ask this impossible question? Is it easy? Is that possible to do that?
Sir, let us understand first the chemia of the impossible question and what does impossible question to our life. Let us first understand the basic chemia, because here on this thing there is not much conditioning.
Correct.
There is not much grooves and all kind of jatil.
Yeah. Unless I built a house, it doesn't mean anything.
Yes. But in relationship, it's complicated. It's much more complicated. But
Correct.
Here it is not much complicated.
Correct.
So we can find out the chemia. We can prove the chemia, or we can explore the chemia. If it is working here, we can examine that chemia on those places too. Let us first understand. If I am raising this question, is there any kind of observation which I am not doing, which has no role of me in that observation? What is taking place? There is only observation. Observation is taking place. Earlier, I had a idea that without me nothing can happen. But first time with this impossible question, is there a observation which I am not doing? A observation is taking place. A observation is finding out. It's uncovering. It's there. We are uncovering. We are exploring that we are not doing, and without naming it, without making an idea about it, without any knowledge, there is a observation. Here is I, and here is this thing, and there is an observation of this thing.
Sir, I understood.
No, let me complete, sir. But here one thing more happened. when I raised this question and my role is suspended for a time being, for a second, awareness took place. When I raised this question, is there a role, is there a observation which I am not doing? Observation found out, and awareness uncovered, and that awareness we are not doing. That awareness is nothing to do with me. It just found there as observation found. Earlier there was no awareness. Everything was just automatic, and it was just mechanically everything were moving. But first time a awareness found out and observation found out. So what insight came in my life? Insight came that there is a living which is with organic awareness, and there is a living which has no role of me.
Understood, sir. Let me, because I'm bringing you down back from
Yes,
wherever
sir.
you're standing and wherever you're going, because I think that this whatever you're trying to tell me, I genuinely request you to explain it to me, because I would want to know.
Yes.
So when you say that, what is that observation which I am not doing?
Yes.
What do you mean by this I? What is this me you're talking about?
Yeah.
What is it? Can you, without that basic understanding of there is a me,
Yeah.
how am I to even ask that question?
Yes.
Because then most of us live without even realizing it. The only I know is I.
Yes. Yes. Sir, is it naming? I comes with name. I takes place with knowledge
Correct. It,
about
Yeah.
the thing which is observing it.
sir, beyond all that, what is this I? I means, for example, sir, let me explain what I means to me. I is my past. I is what I have studied.
Yes.
I is what my friends are.
Yes.
I is my social status.
Yes.
I is what I want to do.
Yes.
I is my lover or my social life.
Yes.
I is my future anxieties.
Yes.
I is my past sorrows.
Yes.
I is who is sitting here with friends talking to you. That is an I.
Yes.
So all this is my I.
Yes.
Henna, is that, am I right?
Yes.
I'm thinking
Yes.
right?
Yes. And the sense of I.
Yes.
Yes. Among all these things, with all these things, sense of I. Yes. With all these things, there is a thing called sense of I.
And most of us, without even realizing, we live with a surety that this is the I.
Yes.
So how am I to break this and ask, if I am so rooted in this all this I-ness,
Yes.
how am I to even contemplate such a question, that what is that observation which I am not doing? How do I break that? Because that I feel that weight of that I is my weight, my body, my mind, sab kuch.
Sir, when I ask that how I find what is taking place, as we understood that my knowledge about the past, my ambitions about the future, my friends, and my knowledge about my relationship, my bank balance and all is me. My all knowledge which is stored in my brain, it's me, right? With this thing, whatever knowledge knowledge I have, it's me.
Correct.
Towards this.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And when I ask, yes, all knowledge I have about this, now how am I to watch this without I? It's same I is doing same knowledge, same sense of I is trying to observe this thing.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Same I. But it's at the same place where I am trying to be free with the I, which is the action of the eye, movement of the eye, if I raise the question, is there a observation of this thing which is nothing to do with me? And it's there. So there is no how. Is there a how? When I want to do something, when I want to see it without me, then then I is there. But if I raise this question, is there a observation which has nothing to do with me? There is a observation. It's organic observation. It is there without naming. When I raise question, is it possible to watch it without name? There is a observation without naming.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
At the same way, where I am relating, where I am living, where is my job, I raise this question, what is that relating with this man or woman which is nothing to do with me? All my past, all my future, and all of my so-called present dropped. It's just a poetic way, it dropped. As all words dropped in this observation of which takes place when we raise the question. And awareness took place.
Sir, when you say awareness takes place, if I am to do the same with my mother, every human being is most connected to their mother. That's the most emotionally dependent relationship. Forget about all the other relationships. The most dependent, deeply involved, emotionally invested relationship is with your mother. So if I look at my mother and sit and look at her and ask, what is this relationship, or what is this?
No, is there a relation?
Is there a relationship
with this human being?
This human being,
which has nothing to do with
the I,
me,
or the me,
or with my mind. Earlier, there was a relationship which was much conditioned, much thought, much projected. With that projection, with that conditioning, I was related with that human being.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
With all the scriptures, all the moral, all things which I thought, with that thought, I was related with her. But now, when we raise this question, is there a relating which has nothing to do with my mind or nothing to do with me, which is organic, which is pure, which is natural? What is taking place? There is an exploration taking place. And that exploration is not in the field of the mind. But that exploration is in the field of living life. Right now is there in relation, a relating which has nothing to do with the mind and me. Right now. So my whole thought just stopped. They just ceased. And awareness is taking place.
Sir, again, try to be, I'm so sorry to be again being
sir,
a participant.
Please, sir. Again,
is that, imagine, I cannot imagine looking at my mother and ask, I mean, if I to ask, and all the knowledge of her affection, her love, it's a love taken for granted because she loves me more than I love her. It's a very simple equation. So anybody would like to be loved more than, everybody would like to get what more than we give.
Yes, sir.
So in such a place, when the awareness takes place, just to understand, or whenever I ask that question, and at any point of time, if that awareness, as you say, it's to take place, is that awareness indifferent? Is it an awareness like, is it an indifferent awareness? That awareness is indifferent. I will just look at her as a fellow human being, and that's the end of it, without any emotional attachment or emotional connect or anything. Is it an indifferent, awareness is indifferent or what? What do you think?
Sir, in a way, yes. In a way, yes. As long as it is related with the mind, awareness just the indifference with the mind.
Compared to the mind.
Compared to
In relation to the mind. When you see through the mind, this is how you feel. In compared to that, awareness looks like indifferent.
Yes, looks like indifference.
But what is it really?
But actually, really, it wipes out you too. My role too, it wipes out my role too. And there, if there, I am not saying it is there or not, we can explore. If there is a real love, a real compassion, a real relation which is not made by the mind, not made by the man, all cultures and all civilization, which is not made by that, if some relation is there, then it uncovers.
So basically, I'm just trying to understand or trying to talk through what you're trying to tell me.
Yes.
In relation to the mind, when you look through the mind, this is how you see your mother. And without that mind, when through awareness, compared to the mind, it looks indifferent. But again, you say another, put another thing in it, is that you don't exist in that looking.
Yes.
There is just seeing.
Just seeing.
Just seeing of something or some person, something. Just seeing.
Yeah.
There is no you.
Yes.
As the mind is wiped out.
Yes.
So there is nothing to relate to.
Quite.
In a normal way, we understand human relationships.
Yes, yes.
There is just seeing.
Yes.
And you say that seeing is just love. Is that what you try to?
It's beginning of love, sir. Love is just beginning from.
That is not indifferent then. As long as you are there, there is difference and indifference and all exist.
We can find out, sir. Sir, have you heard the incident in Puducherry recently? A mother of a mother of
a fellow
class
student,
8th girl.
her daughter was
Yeah.
in the same class, and she found out that boys keep making marks, so she kind of
always the boy was coming first,
so
and
ended up murdering the boy, so her
Yes.
daughter can come first.
Yes. So this is not love. Sir, this is not love. Because this love, whatever it is, we used to say there is everything fine in love and war. This is absolutely wrong statement. In love, there is no war. In love, there is a love. So, what we have done at the name of love, to belong with someone or let the someone belong to me.
Correct.
Only we have done this. If someone belongs to me, then I do everything with him or with her. And I just be indifferent with all the universe, with all the world. We know the definition of love along these lines. But actually what happens if you are indifferent with the whole world and you are only concentrated with the one point or in one relation, you are dead. Already you are dead, and how can we that point may live? Sooner or later it will be dead. And it's just thinking matter, right? And what this awareness is doing, it's removing that point. That is there a relating which has nothing to do with the mind or with the me, with this. It's removing that factor, that point, that thinking factor, and it's spreading, it's uncovering whole existence of love or relation, or which is uncovering the awareness, right? एक बिंदु पर जहां पर हमने अब तक प्रेम को समझा था, वहां से यह प्रश्न प्रेम के झूठे ढंग को पोंछ करके और समूचे अस्तित्व से प्रेम को उघाड़ दे रहा है. समूचे अस्तित्व में जो प्रेम का द्वार है वहां तक पहुंचा दे रहा है अवेयरनेस. Is it not so?
So, sir, I would like to say yes, but I really don't know. So I couldn't lie.
Why you don't know, sir? Why are you not raising this question right now?
I know, sir. I'm on the way.
Yeah.
So I still keep raising questions, but mind is a tough nut to crack. It's उसका जड़ इतना गहरा है, so उखाड़ने में टाइम लगता है. So पता नहीं है, वो टाइम भी का relative होगा शायद, but कुछ तो. So, sir, again, I really understood that whatever you're saying, and I don't think that whatever we have spoken so far is good enough for anybody who really deeply understands it or want to really know about it. That is good enough conversation to understand that what are you trying to tell us. So, my other question, let's get back to little lighter space, is that when we see in the space, when there are a lot of people who genuinely desire to and have the feeling that is this life I'm living? Life is full of sorrow. These are all fundamental facts of life. We know the social pressures and the kind of society we live in the modern society is very difficult place to live. It's a hard place. Everybody knows it. Making a living and living a life is very tough. So when tough gets going, people realize that is this life? Is this much more? It looks little empty. With whatever you have, if you have everything, you feel empty. If you don't have nothing, you feel empty. You're wanting more. So, sir, everybody have this quest. So people look at different things. People go for meditations. There are different kinds of meditations are there.
Yes.
Naam jap karta hai. And there are a lot of people who teach a lot of techniques. A lot of people give a lot of things. Some people help people to function in this existing conflicted world in a better way. So आप कॉर्पोरेट में ही काम करो, बट ये सब कर लोगे तो वो कॉर्पोरेट लाइफ थोड़ा इजी लगेगा आपको. आपका कॉन्फ्लिक्टेड लाइफ थोड़ा इजी हो जाता है वो मैनेज करने में. सो यू आर नॉट ट्राइंग टू help or what you are trying to say, whatever you are saying is not to help people to manage conflict. You are trying to end conflict.
Not at all, sir. These things are just consolation. They are not any kind of salvation. And in consolation, that disease grows. That thing called sorrow grows up. So I am not talking about any kind of consolation.
You are not teaching people to manage life.
Not at all, sir. Not at all. We are just doing, sir, to understand the life in a way which has nothing to do with the mind. As we understood, mind is a artificial thing. It's not living thing. Mind is operating. It's using the energy of the life, but its field, its concept, its ideas, its words are not living. The word tree is not that thing which is that thing. The incident which was happened yesterday is stored in my brain, but it's not that incident. The word mountain is not mountain which is there. I cannot take mountain in my brain, that real mountain. So this is we can see this is the artificial thing. This is just sanketik.
Technical.
It's useful, but it's not real or it's not living. So, how can a exploration which is living can be done by the mind? Any interruption of the mind in the field of living, it will not correct.
Basically, it's like sitting in a cinema theater and watching a movie when you are young, and आप उसके अंदर खो जाते हो.
Yes.
You feel part of it.
Yes.
But you are not really part of it.
So, and tragedy is कि जब तक हम लोग खुद को जान पाते हैं, तब तक हमारे अंदर भी एक पात्र पैदा हो जाता है.
A character. This me is a character.
Me is a character. And we think that me, this character is real. This character is real, other characters are real.
So this me is also right, that me is also right, that me is also right.
Yes.
And we believe in this mind,
Yes.
which is created through conditioning and
Yes.
upbringing and societal pressures and all that factors, education,
Yes.
systems,
Yes.
the way of life,
Yes.
culture,
Yes.
society, everything put together, this me is created within me.
Yes.
I believe that's a real character.
Yes.
And everyone who carries that
Yes.
are all real.
Yes.
Instead of seeing the real person,
Yes.
we see the character.
Yes, because here is a character. So if this character looks another character, then this is the only play. We are
So-
moving in the play.
So basically, in our society, when we look in the world,
Yeah.
everybody are just playing a character rather than being themselves. And it's
And-
interaction between all these imagined characters rather than real people.
Yes, and for real life, to find out real life, their question comes: how to observe, how to see, how to live without this character called me, or without this mind which produces the characters only. What is, when it's very simple, sir. When we raise this question, okay, what is that living without character? With either this character me or this character called you. Is there a living without character? You are out of the cinema. You
Correct.
are out of the movie.
So basically,
Not you.
I understand.
Life is out of the movie.
Understood. It's like I am looking at my best friend, and the I in me is a character, and the role of the best friend is in him as a character.
Yes.
And one character is looking at the character and believing that both are real.
Yeah.
You remove both, but
Yeah.
when I'm looking at my best friend, I am not supposed to. When that observation happens, the me is my character is also removed.
Yes.
The character from his also will be removed.
Yes.
So this fundamental mind, the character which we have created, is gone.
Yes.
What remains is just two awareness. Is it two awareness? Is it one awareness? What is it?
It is just awareness.
It's just awareness remains.
It's not my awareness, not the other awareness.
Yeah.
It's awareness, because character was the false. It was just a concept. So whatever I am doing, I am meditating since long time, years and years. I am reading scriptures since years and years. It has nothing to do with the real living, because the same character is doing something which was playing in the samsara. That character is now playing in the so-called spirituality,
Yes.
adhyatma. Same
Yeah.
character.
So you read these days, if you go to Facebook and you look at people's profiles, or in any way, now there is a new term which is coming out, is that are you religious? No, spiritual.
Yeah.
So again, that I is becoming spiritual. Now I was religious,
Yeah.
or I was an atheist. Now I am spiritual.
Yeah.
Now I am agnostic. This naming continues. It goes on. It never ends. We
Yes.
find new names to define ourselves.
Yes.
Where all these definitions are a character, we are adding to the character.
I cannot be spiritual. I, in quotes, cannot be spiritual. When I is not, there is spirituality. But that spirituality is not a spirituality of this wall.
Correct.
That spirituality is not of this carpet. Senseless, lifeless. That spirituality when me is not awareness. If awareness is not, if unconditioned love is not, then we miss the point.
Yeah, because
Because there is no me in this ceiling.
yeah. So even
But this ceiling is not aware.
correct. So basically, even if I look at, we are used to transactional relationship from the childhood.
Yes.
You do when you are a little baby, you do something, your parents smile,
Yes.
parents are happy,
Yes.
so you make them happy.
Yes.
That's a transactional relationship.
Exactly.
So everything is transactional from the moment you are making each other happy to all these characters being played.
Yes.
But when there is so much joy with that characters, when you remove the characters, when only awareness remove, again I'm asking a stupid question maybe.
No, sir.
Will there be joy? Is there joy in it? You said Again, I mean, if I am to relate the same answer, when compared to mind, there must be or must not be joy. In the conventional sense, we understand joy.
What we understand joy, it is always depending on the opposite of it.
Correct. Yes.
Yes. Now,
If I don't know sadness, I wouldn't know joy.
yeah. But there is a living which has nothing to do with the mind and nothing to do with the unawareness. There is awareness. There is something take place which has nothing to do with me. But for that, one have to prove it with his or her life, with other pramana, with other justification. One cannot find it. Whatever will one understand, it will be in the series of that pleasure which he or she got. What I have understood as what is joy? It was like eating good food, having sex, and wandering in the nature, and being a great man, great politician, being Pradhan Mantri, or getting some reward, award, and being something. It's
all satisfying the ego.
It's all satisfying the ego, and somewhere it only covers the sorrow of the ego. So ego itself is a great sorrow.
So that means all these traps, which includes even religion, all kind of religious practices we do, religions get involved in it.
Many of them are self-hypnotism.
It's just you are hypnotizing yourself in the name of
99% spiritual and so-called religious experiences are just hypnotism. If you are something projecting since day by day, every day, then one day you will realize that is happening.
Yeah, that's again happening in the eye itself.
Yeah,
it's just another manifestation of the mind.
Yeah, manifestation of the eye. Yes.
Okay. So we have spoken this far, sir. I think you have quite explained what you try to do in Aranyak. You and all of the friends associated with Aranyak are trying to do here, this observation. So I would really want to come back from the topic we are talking and ask something which more lighter is, who are the kind of, because you know too many philosophers, at least in the quest of self-knowledge, there are a lot of stuff. There is in every religious practices ले उसके अंदर ही है बहुत. हिंदुइज्म में है, सांख्या है, द्वैता है, अद्वैता है, भक्ति है, ये है, वो है, बहुत सारे हैं. And if you go to Islam, you have Sufism and all that kind of stuff. In Christianity also you have Gnosticism and multifaceted things which operates. And you have tons of philosophers over the years have spoken about self-knowledge and living in the present and living in the moment and all this stuff. Well, who are the philosophers who have influenced you or helped you in this journey? Or help is a very relative word again, I agree. Who are the philosophers who have made an impact on you as you are in this path?
Sir, I would like to say not philosophers, but teachings. There are teachings who
I'm not asking you to validate anything.
No, sir. I am telling. I am just thinking the word.
So I understood. I am not asking. I mean, people shouldn't misunderstand that, and I am asking you to validate this philosophy or that philosophy. So you, आपने एक छापा मारने के लिए नहीं बोल रहा हूँ.
There are teachings who इशारा करने को क्या कहते हैं? Who indicated me to raise the impossible question or being with what is. And being with what is, living with what is, it may be, however may it be painful, something took place. Just it. And those teachings are not of, those teachings never belongs to anyone.
Anybody. Huh.
Anybody.
It was there.
It is in the air.
It's always there.
It's
always
always there. So as we are raising impossible question doesn't belong to this man. Impossible question is there. If someone is forming this question, what is that observation which has no observer? Observe without observer. It's impossible question, sir. When some mantra says कि वह जो मन से सोचा जाता है वह नहीं, जिससे मन सोचता है वह. This is the impossible question.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's a chemia. It's in living. Only one have to just look at it. It is there. So it doesn't belong to with anyone. It's our thinking process which moves into this way of language, that it belongs to that, it belongs to that. But sky doesn't belongs to anyone.
Correct. नदी तो बह रहा है, हमें जाके डुबकी मारना है बस.
Yes, and if someone just tells कि oh you are thirsty, go there is a river, he is not giving river.
Yeah. इशारा कर रहे हैं.
Yes, nobody is giving river. Now how can one give you river? One can just tell if you are thirsty and you are just dying with thirst, and you are just unaware that there is a river. Someone just tells. Its role nothing more than a policeman which is standing on the crossroad.
Absolutely. Even if somebody is dying and somebody gives water and say, have this water, you'll feel better.
Yeah.
I have to swallow.
So
a person can only give me water.
So how can anyone say this impossible question belongs to someone?
So still you haven't named any philosopher. I am not asking you to name. So there are.
Sir, if you want to...
I'm not asking you to... That's what I said. I have no objection in you saying that.
Sir, I have learned this art, this way of asking question with teachings which are collected with the name of J. Krishnamurti. Yes.
Okay. So basically Krishna ji's writings has been one of the indicators which help you to raise these questions.
Yes.
Okay. So sir, it's been very nice talking to you. So a lot of things has been cleared. Hope we can talk again. Sorry for asking you to talk
no, sir,
in a very basic way, so
you asked
people
very
can understand.
nicely. I am very glad you asked such questions, and many thanks to you, sir. My English is very poor, but I am trying to speak
my English is also equally poor when compared to some college professor in Oxford. So it's pretty much good and poor is also again relative, sir.
So rapper is not important, sweet is important.
Yes, absolutely.
So language is not important. What we are discussing, what chemia we have learned with each other together, that's important. And that is nothing but that impossible questioning.
Okay, sir. So before we end, I have a request to you. Generally, when you talk, you quote a lot of Kabir. I find you really enjoy Kabir's poetry. So if you can say a couple of couplets of Kabir to end this.
I like this time in my mind when his doha is coming. जब मैं था तब हरि नहीं, अब हरि हैं मैं नाही, सब अंधियारा मिट गया जब दीपक देखा माए. This is impossible question.
Can you explain it in English, sir?
When it was me, when there was I, that was not in quotes Hari, God, Paramatma, truth, whatever you name it, just name.
Or awareness.
When I was there, truth was not there.
Correct.
When truth is there, I is not there. The same way, when there was the Deepak lamp, when there was lamp lit in, no dark was there. darkness and light never meets, never knows each other. So this is the impossible question. If we raise this question, if are we really serious to find out what is Hari, what is truth, then first thing we have to dissolve. And another Kabir couplets I can recall कि कबीरा यह घर प्रेम का खाला का घर ना है, शीस उतारे भुई धरे सो बैठे घर माए. कि this is the house or home of the love, and if you want to enter it, just cut your head, not this head, the head called me, the ego. Just cut this head, put it down, and then you can enter. These things are just contradictory statements, but if one goes through, one can find it that it is so. When me is not, that is. When me is not, love is. Love and me never meet.
It just can't exist together.
Yeah. And Kabir says कि पानी में मीन पियासी, आत्म ज्ञान बिना नर भटके, क्या काबा क्या काशी. वो एक पूरा वो भजन है, पानी में मीन पियासी. Only it's like this. What have to do that fish to find the water? If
just open its mouth.
If she is not finding, maybe she is in some thinking process.
Correct.
And if she is trying to find, it's still something thinking process.
Correct.
She have to just raise question, how I am missing it? What is that missing of the water? And she will find it's there.
It's there. And she is in it.
She is in it. Yes.
So, sir, it was lovely talking to you.
Yes.
So, hope we'll have another chat some other day.
Sure, sir.
Take it to another level, sir. Thank you very much.
Namaskar.
Namaskar, sir.